Hi, I'm Anne from Game Like a Mother. This is my February game chat, and today I want to talk about positive group gaming because it can be tricky to get a group of people together, five or more people, and play a game together that everyone is going to enjoy. A few weeks ago, I decided that it was time for us to all play Mexican Train as a family because I grew up playing games like that, and my kids should have a chance to play that. Even though we have all these fancy new board games on the shelves, they should still get to play the old classics. And it was terrible. If I have to tell people that it's their turn more than about twice, I don't want to play the game. And to be fair to my family, it was my four children, my parents were there, and my husband was playing too, so there were a number of us. We had some teams going on, so it wasn't quite so many people playing all at once, but we also did it when there was a playoff football game on TV that quite a few people around the table were very interested in watching. So it wasn't the optimal playing experience for many of them. I think my daughters, enjoyed the game okay, but I am not incredibly patient, and I was going bonkers by the end. It's your turn. It's your turn again. I don't care if they're on the 5-yard line. Like, come on, let's go. Play your domino. So it can be tricky under the best of circumstances to have a game that works well. There's social games or a go-to, but those are great. They're light, they're fun for all. But sometimes you want an actual strategy game. For those, it seems like generally it's best to have ones with simultaneous turns, at least for me, because that keeps the game moving a lot faster. So roll and rights and flip and rights are some go-tos. There's a few others that work really well, like Take 5, but it can be tricky to find a strategy game that can work well. We have a few that have become kind of our go-tos in our house. Push is a great push your luck card game in which you are just trying to have to get the most points, and you're flipping out cards onto 3 different stacks on your turn, and you just can't have 2 of the same number or 2 of the same color in any of the stacks or you go bust. And it's entertaining to watch even when it isn't your turn, because if they go bust, it's a big deal. They have to roll this that way we call the die of doom, that makes you get rid of some cards. Other cards are getting passed around depending on what they play out there, so you might be getting some points based on what's going out there. So, and it's just, it keeps moving pretty fast, even when it isn't your turn. One of the other games that we really enjoy is Colt Super Express. Not Colt Express. Colt Super Express is a couple levels down in terms of strategy, but it is just an absolute hoot. You are trying to be the last person standing on this train, and you are basically programming out your moves in advance. So that helps a lot to keep the game moving. Everybody is picking out their cards for the next round at the same time. And then all you do on your turn is you're flipping out your card. There's no decision making. You're flipping out your card and you're moving from train to train. You're turning around, or you're trying to shoot somebody. If you shoot somebody, they can be, if they're on the very end, they can be shot off the train and then they're out for the rest of the game. And then they have some fun specialty cards that you can play out, where you can play it like a horse and then you run up to the very front of the train, or there's even a DeLorean card, the car in the front, where if you travel onto that, you travel through time and you go back to the beginning of the train, you get to play your cards out for the turn again. So just really fun elements, and it's one of those where even if you get out, it's entertaining to watch the game, and it's just so funny and fun to watch even if you aren't in it. So that helps. And then finally, Bang the Dice game is super fun. You are rolling dice and you have secret rolls. And so somebody is the sheriff. That's the only one that everybody knows who they are. And then there are some outlaws, a renegade. If you have enough players, you can have a deputy that's helping the sheriff, but all of the other players are secret. And so if you're an outlaw, you're trying to figure out who your fellow outlaws are, so you're watching the other turns to see what they're doing. If they're choosing to play cards that attack the sheriff, they're probably not the deputy. And you have different dice that you're rolling out that allow, I mean, there's a Gatling gun, there's dynamite you have to watch out for. If you get too many of those, you lose a health point, your turn's over. You can roll a beer and that helps restore your health, which is just funny. So there's secret rolls to figure out, fun dice rolling. It's just a light, perfect game. So if you have a game that works well, that's like a go-to in more than 5 or more people kind of environment, please share, because it seems like everyone is always looking for those types of games. Okay, well, the cat was yowling outside because she loves me so much. It is our month of love together, so I've let her come in for this portion. I am not incredibly patient when it comes to games, and so it's been really fun trying out app versions of games this past month. I'm doing a top 10 apps game list that I've already filmed and is coming out this next week. And so I got to try out a bunch of new games for that. And the 3 big ones that I'm excited about that I've been hearing good things about, but then finally played because there were excellent app versions of the games were Lanterns and Cartographers and Galaxy Trucker. You have to be in a certain echelon of game to get an app version made of your game generally. And Lanterns is delightful. If you like games like Azul, you are going to love Lanterns, and you're trying to score, get the most honor, highest points, playing out tiles that symbolize lanterns in a lake, and it's like a Japanese festival, and you are collecting tiles and using them to purchase honor. And it's really pretty and nice how everything works together. And I knew it was a very good game when I played it, showed my husband how to play it once, and then he said, oh, we need this, and ran out and got it the next day. So that's high praise for the game. And then Cartographers, I really enjoy Welcome to and Railroad Inc. And whenever I tell people that I like these 2 games, they say, oh, well, you should play Cartographers. And I'm like, okay, I'm busy. I'll get to it when I get to it. Well, I finally played it, and I love it because it's like a perfect mix of Railroad Inc. and Welcome to. Go figure. And you're trying to score the most points. You have this board where you're playing out polyomino type pieces that are different types of terrain, and you have different goal cards across the top that you're trying to go for, but it's the different seasons, and so each season you're only trying to go for 2 of the different goal cards, so it kind of is neat how it all works together, and you're placing things out and you're focusing on completing some goals as quickly as possible because this is when they score. And after the next round, you're not even going to care about having how big the second largest city is anymore because that's not going to score for the rest of the game, so you better take care of it now. So it is just so nice in the app versions. You can't play it wrong. It just makes learning the rules that much easier, which I love. And then finally, Galaxy Trucker. I mean, I keep on hearing that game pop up in conversation, and I would go and check it out, and I was like, oh, this is the best theme ever for a game. You're putting together a hodgepodge spacecraft, and then it's a race to build it, and then you're going through and playing out different cards, and you're having to worry about things like meteorites hitting meteors hitting your spacecraft, or you're having to worry about pirates in outer space and being able to battle them off, or you want to be in the front so that when you get to some planets, you have first pick of which one you're going to collect cargo, because all of this gives you points. And so I thought the theme was just so fun, but it takes an hour in the physical copy of the game. The app version takes 5 to 10 minutes. So, which is perfect. That is so a wonderful selling point for the app. So we have been playing it on repeat, and it is such a blast. And lastly, just a few other games to highlight from this month. Buttonshy sent me a pre-release of Pixie, which is the new Elizabeth Hargrave game. She is of Wingspan fame, and her other game for Buttonshy, Tussie Mussie, is one of our favorites. So I was really excited about this one. And It's okay. I don't know that I am exactly the right demographic for this game. I think it's better for a more creative gamer because I'm just tired when I play the games usually, and I want to plop the cards down and just have them do what they're supposed to do. In this, it's kind of like a mastermind type game, and you have picky pixie that has certain rule for the type of foods that it will eat, and you're playing out cards. You decide what your rule is and you're going to write it down at the beginning, and it has to be according to, they have a little cheat sheet of like the types of rules you can do. And then you put a card in front of them and say, okay, would you eat this or not? And they say yes or no, and then you're able to say, okay, you always want it to be two different colors of flowers. And once you guess the correct rule, you get some points, they get some points, and you play a few rounds. And the theme, as a mother with children that are often picky eaters, the theme's a little rough because I don't need any more picky eaters. But then you actually play it, and it doesn't feel like picky eating. It just feels like guess the rule. So it's fine. And I think if I didn't have to write something down on a sheet of paper, that would help too. And also if I didn't play this with my oldest son, who's just like, how can I get around these rules and make it trickier? So if you don't play it with Bradley, and you have a few more people, and you're okay with writing down something on the sheet, then I think you will love this. I think there aren't enough mastermind type games out there, and this is incredibly portable and really nice. But it was a little tough if you're just tired in the evening and don't want to figure out what rule your 11-year-old has created and then debate whether or not it's allowed by the rules of the game. So just open-ended stuff like that can be hard depending on who you play it with. Sorry, Bradley. You're lovely for mini games, but not that one. Trio, I was really happy about because this is basically like a new go-to family card game, and it's 3 to 6 players, so I guess it could work well with a larger group. You are trying to get to be the first person to get 3 sets of 3. And the genius bit of this game is you can only ask people to show you the highest card or the lowest card from their hand. And so there's a memory aspect to the game, and so you have to be paying attention during other people's turns because that's really important information. You say, oh, okay, I know their highest card is a 12, but their highest card is an 11. So, and that person, I don't know what they have. So you're trying to remember and figure out things. This is one of those games where I do really well the first round or two, but then by the third round, it's a jumble of what I remember from previous rounds, and my children beat me at this because memory games, kids are always better at. But this is just sweet and fun. It's a nice little card game. I love little card games with simple rules. They're the ones that get played. And someone commented on one of my videos online and asked me to check out Octopi, and I always look up if somebody tells me about a game. I always look it up. I don't always run out and get it, but this was $8, and my daughter's birthday was coming up, so I thought this is just perfect timing and a great game to try out. And so I gave it to my 5-year-old, and this is an ages 5 and up game, and she has been loving it. You're supposed to be the first to have all of your all the octopus tentacles need to be the same color, so you're getting them out, but you flip things over. If you get a tentacle with a pie on it, then you get to get a pie token with a special ability. And so this is one of those games where we're going to play it to death for about a month or two, and then it's one we're going to get out periodically. But it's just so nice to have variety for the younger elementary ages where they're playing tons and tons of games, and it's so easy and fun. It's great to get out. Like, you could get this out for a play date pretty easily, and they can set it up and play it on their own. So I was very happy about this one, and it's nice. This isn't going to be in like my top 10 games of all time, but this is very solid, and we've been having a blast playing it. So that's it for us. I'm going to go and cuddle the cat that's been wandering around yowling while we've been filming because she's lonely for me. We love each other so much. February is for love for all. So I hope go cuddle a clingy cat, go cuddle a family member and play a game together. I'll see you next time from Game Like a Mother.